Welcome to Garden Wise Adventures. My name is Malie, and today is video number 33 in my Beginning Gardener series. And today I wanted to cover raised bed irrigation, and there's a couple of different ways you can do it. Now, I just put together the irrigation on my newest beds, and I thought about filming the process, but I have several videos that I will link up above and also down in the description showing detailed step-by-step instructions on how I put it together. So today what we're going to do is start from the beginning of where my automatic irrigation starts and how it's connected to my gardens. And then I'll show you the parts that I used, and then you can reference the other videos for time's sake and for simplicity's sake to see exactly how I put the irrigation together. So let's go start at the beginning and see where the irrigation starts. Now, I live in Utah, in a city where we have what's called secondary water. Secondary water is completely separate from culinary water. It's partially filtered. Well, I guess they filter the water and that's about it. It's not treated and it's only used for irrigation. We have two boxes here. I don't know if I can get them open. Let me try. So this box is where the city can turn the water on and off. I can also turn the water on and off here. And the city actually turns off the water at the source at the beginning of the year. So this is where it starts. This is where it's connected to the city water. It's a lot of spiders in here, but this is where we have our secondary water filter. And we need to have this cleaned every year, and you can also turn the water on and off at this spot. So we have pipes from that area that go all the way up here. And this is where my irrigation valves are for my garden beds. This is called a valve box. Probably have spiders in here too. But these are my valves, and every single one of these are drip valves. The little black part there is a filter and a pressure regulator. So we have a second filter because we don't want our irrigation lines to get clogged. Each one of those valves are connected to PVC pipes, and those pipes were dug into the ground. And we have a PVC pipe that goes the length of this backyard right here, right up against the fence. Then we have this irrigation hose right here. It's a blank hose that does not have holes in it, and it's attached to the PVC pipe. And we attached blank irrigation line to that. So this is a line that goes to the downhill part of my garden beds. So you can you can't see the first half of it because I buried it. But you can, sorry for the shadows, it's just that time of day. But this is where I pulled it out of the ground just to kind of see where it went. It runs along here. And then we've teed it off in several different areas, and we've attached it to our garden beds. So I just buried the line under the bed, popped it up here. And this is a little wonky. I had to put this bed together this way because I didn't want to kink the hose. I couldn't get it to line up properly, so it's a little, somebody else may have done it a little bit differently than I did, but it all works. So each of my garden beds have a shut-off valve, so we can turn off the water to each bed individually. And then I will show you the parts that we used. But we've teed off of this blank line right here. This is a blank line without holes in it. And then we've put in irrigation line. This is called inline drip irrigation. Every 12 inches we have a 1 gallon per hour emitter. And then we have 4 of those lines in this bed. Now in my narrow beds I did 2 lines, but it's all put together the same way. As you can see, each bed has a blue shutoff valve. So let's show you the parts that we used. So once you have a drip irrigation valve installed and you have the lines plumbed in so that you have the PVC pipe, and then you have lines attached to that PVC pipe so you can connect your drip irrigation to it, it's really simple after that. So this right here is a spool of hose, and it does not have any holes in it. This is just a blank hose. And you use that to run lines to wherever you need your drip irrigation. So you use this type of hose anywhere you don't want to irrigate. And then you have your drip line. Some people call it netafin. Actually, you can see right there. So I cut this right where the emitter is so you can kind of see what it looks like inside. Let's see if I can get it to focus a little bit better. But you can see the hole right there, and that's what the emitter looks like. So anyway, that's the hose that you use. There's better ways to cut the hose. There's special tools to cut hose, but I just basically use my pruners. I've had the hose pop off my fittings before, but the only one that I really have had the issue with is off of the shutoff valve. So I will actually use these rings, these clamp rings, to clamp the hose to the shutoff valve. Let me show you what that looks like. So right here you can see the rings clamping the hose to the shutoff valve so it doesn't accidentally pop off with the pressure. You just need a regular flathead screwdriver, like this one, to tighten them. So that's what I use there. And then we just have all sorts of different couplers. We have these straight couplers. We have a T-coupler. So that's what the T-coupler looks like. We have a four-way coupler. You can put the intake hose in here and then use it to go three ways. And then we have the corner pieces. So there's a corner piece right there. So that's how you attach your garden beds if you have an automatic irrigation system. But if you don't have an automatic irrigation system and you just have a hose bib you can use, let me show you another way to add irrigation to your garden beds that's automatic with just a hose bib. Now I've done a full video on this showing you how I've hooked it up. Right here we have a hose bib. Now this is actually on my secondary water, but I didn't have any irrigation lines run over to my side yard right over here. It's kind of hard to see, but I have garden beds over there and I needed to water them, but I luckily had this hose bib right here. So what I did is I got this automatic timer. It's a beehive and it's the exact same kind of timer as I have in my house for my regular garden system. So I actually am able to use this on the same app on my phone as my regular irrigation system. So we have the timer. Well, actually, let's say first we have a splitter. This way's off, so my hose is off. This is on, so the garden beds are always on. This is the timer. Right here is a pressure regulator because you need to regulate the pressure. This comes out at a very high pressure and I would blow out all my fittings over in the garden beds without this pressure regulator. And then down here, with a little end at the bottom that you can screw off so you can clean it, is a filter. So we have this filtered and pressure regulated, and then we attached it to just a blank line that we ran under the beds. And let's go to the beds and show you what it looks like. So we ran this just up into my beds. It's coming out right here where we attached it to one of those three-way fittings. And then we have lines just exactly like we did on all the rest of my garden beds that are automatically watering this bed. So there's four drip lines in this bed being automatically watered. It is actually on right now. Let's see if we can see it dripping. No, I guess it just turned off. It was on, but I guess it just turned off. So I run these beds for about an hour, and it's really, really nice not to have to worry about hand watering everything. So that was just a quick introduction to automatic irrigation in your garden beds. And if there's any way possible for you to attach automatic irrigation, I suggest you do it. It really, really saves on time. It helps your plants stay healthier because they have regular water, and it takes a lot off of your mind. Gardeners have a lot to do. You shouldn't have to go hand water every single one of your garden beds. If you have any more questions, or if you'd like to see any more details about how to do drip irrigation, let me know in the comments below and I'll try to answer those questions and maybe do another video. So hopefully this video has been helpful. If it has been helpful, I hope you like, subscribe, share it with your friends, and go have a wonderful garden adventure.